Hi. Oh man, this is gonna be a fun video. I can already see the comments. Yes. Hello. I'm gonna talk about some fun stuff. Me and Mac, ready. Me and Mac are gonna smack, talk some smack. Today's video is about religion and if it's good or not. I guess I don't know. I know that my audience is probably going to be maybe split on this. I think it's going to be split because I know that I have a lot of viewers who were like pre 2018 who align with me oh my, ideologically, very much so. However, I also know that a lot of people do not. So this could get interesting. Um, so for me, I was raised as a Lutheran Christian, and we never went to church until my sister was born. And then we went there like every Sunday. And it's like, I remember hating having to do that because it was so boring. We had to get up really early on a Sunday. Are you kidding me? You're telling me that we have a weekend, we have 2 days off per week from school. And you're telling me that I have to wake up early for this? I like the bread. The church we went to would hand out bread instead of the wafers, and the bread was always like really good. It was always like a really rich taste. I never got to have the wine though, sadly. I never accepted the wine. Or like I was chosen to be like the guy that holds the wine glasses for the communion. That's what it was called, communion. Like once, I was like 12, and I just carried the thing, and he offered me one, and I'm like, man, I'd love to, but like my parents are here. My parents are here. No thanks. No thanks. I will happily take the body of Christ, but the blood of Christ, not so good. I mean, what if he had HIV? I mean, come on now. Come on now. It was the zeros. Dude, there was festering disease all over the place back in those times. Are you kidding me? And you're telling me you want to drink this man's blood? Kidding me right now? Why? Why did he turn water into wine? Why didn't he turn it into something good like a Slim Fast shake, you know? Or like a orange crush. There we go. Why didn't Jesus turn water into orange crush? That would have been way more appealing. No, I guess everyone just felt like getting drunk at church. Which fair. Fair. That probably would have made it a lot more interesting. I remember hating it. When we started going back, I was just old enough to where I wasn't allowed to bring like my Nintendo DS or something. I wasn't allowed to bring like something to write in, you know. I had to actually pay attention to it, and it's like I don't think I gained anything. When my uncle got married, we went to his church, and they had like a live band, and it had like a like an actual electric guitar with like a with like an actual drive pedal, and I'm like, okay, I could get into this. We only went to that church once. That was very depressing. I've always wanted to attend a black church. I think that would be so much fun, dude. I don't know. Because like you see these clips all the time. Like I've seen Sister Act, all right? I've seen both Sister Acts, all right? I know what goes on there. That seems like a good time. I'd actually go to church if I could go to a black church, but North Dakota. North Dakota, not looking likely. But yeah, um, I stopped believing. It was a gradual thing. It was not an instantaneous moment. I tried to hang on. It was the second that I got on the internet. Okay, this should not be a surprise to anyone. That right the second that I got on the internet, I'm starting to get all this information. I'm like, okay, I'm parsing all this stuff. Would you believe me if I said it was George Carlin that finally did me in on the subject? And it was summer of 2012 that I realized I don't believe. And a lot of the common talking points have been You see, like in this era of the world, I'm watching primarily conservative viewpoints on the internet right now, and they're all like, "Oh, if only all the children followed the teaching of Jesus, then everything would be wonderful." And I'd be like, "Nah, not feeling it." These guys are always told to, they're always asked like, how do you remain religious? Or like, how can I convince someone or myself to believe? And they always go like, look around you. Look around you. Think of all of the wondrous things that wouldn't be possible if there were not an omnipotent God watching over us all. And they'd be like, think of the miracle of childbirth. The miracle of childbirth. Bitch, every single person on earth was born that way. You're telling me that 7 billion people on planet is a miracle? You're telling me that the process that created each and every single person alive throughout the history of the planet, not just now, but all the way to the beginning. You're telling me that's a miracle? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get some better material than that. Look at the sunrise whenever on a nice fall morning when the sun is glistening across the wheat fields and you can feel a light breeze and the birds begin to sing and you have that feeling of euphoria wash over you. How can you not believe? Oh, yes, the sun comes up. Planet Earth turns. It's a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. Most of the people that I actually, like follow are not like, the generic pastor type people. They're actually more of the, actually sophisticated side of the internet. Reddit. No, I'm not talking about Reddit. I'm talking about like the people who will be like, you have to reach out. You have to reach out. Like, you aren't gonna find, you're not gonna find anything unless you actually put effort into it. And it's like, okay. So like I've opened myself up. I've been like, I'll be laying in bed and I'll be like, Ayo, are there any ethereal spirits that are watching down on me right now? If yes, please knock twice if yes, once if no. I really haven't felt anything. The only things that I've ever done that I've ever like felt is like when I'm like in my car and the iPod is randomly selecting the next song, and it just happens to be the song that I was thinking of, or if it was like a song fitting for the situation. So like, if it's like dark and raining outside, like Faith to Arise by Terry Reid plays, and I'm like, this is fucking mood right here. But like, I don't really have anything in the way of like vivid dreams. Because, like, I read all those creepy ass Reddit posts where, like, oh, my dead relative reached out to me in a dream and told me that I'm dreaming. And then when he told me I was dreaming, I woke up. Ah. No, that has not happened to me. I have not felt any, real, like, real life connection with. I'm thinking now, I haven't really felt like, like this dream is literally speaking something to me right now, like as I'm in the dream or like immediately as I wake up from the dream, you know? And like I analyze my dreams all the time because they're stupid. I have a traumatizing dreams video on this very channel. I have a sleep paralysis video on this very channel. It's like, yeah. But I've never experienced that. And it's like, it's strange. Because like, when it comes to religion, I just have not seen any evidence. I have not seen good evidence. I've seen some evidence, but it's not like good evidence. And it's like, okay, well, like, the laws of physics are like this and this. So it's like, not very surprising, but um, but like, I still think that there's a good chance that like I'm trying to make this sound as sophisticated as possible, but I still believe in ghosts. That's what I'm trying to say, is that I still believe in ghosts. And the reason that I believe in ghosts, I think, is actually kind of scientific because we have consciousness, right? Our brain is using electric signals to communicate with the body. And that energy cannot be destroyed. Energy cannot be created, nor can it be destroyed. So, where's the energy from your brain powers coming from? All right? And when you die, where does that energy go? Which is why I think that consciousness itself is, you know, something that we're probably never going to be able to understand. But like it's a thing that I think is bigger than, the body, because we have, dogs, right? You have you have family pet animals. You have, and then like the comparison that I always use is a fly. You have a fly, completely one of the most, like basic life forms, besides like, one of the most basic multi-celled organisms, okay? And they have not really evolved much, if at all, in any capacity over several million years. Like apes have evolved, like birds have evolved. But flies, they found like crystallized or like amber. You found like flies in amber from like the Jurassic period, and they looked pretty much identical to present day flies. So you've got a very basic organism that if you like put it into like a cryogenic freezer and pulled it out and then thawed it out properly, you could probably, feasibly say that you could resurrect that. Like it's like it could go to sleep, get frozen for a million years, and then wake up again like nothing happened. That fly runs entirely on instinct. It's got such a small brain, if any brain, and but the fly still knows how to exist. It still knows how to eat, it still knows how to breed, it still knows how to do all these things just like we do. However, a fly cannot write a poem. A fly cannot like use a tool, I guess. I don't know. A fly cannot really, think for itself, is what I'm trying to say. A fly cannot have ideas. A fly is not going to sit down one day and be like, I'm really small. This world is really large. I am just but an insignificant speck. Oh my god, I cannot use the human language, I swear. I am but an insignificant speck on the very face of all of reality. It's not gonna. The fly is not gonna sit down and think that, because if it sits for too long, it's gonna get swatted. That's how it goes. But we can do those things. We can sit down and we can be like, man, this place is weird. Look at that, dude. Like, there's a ceiling up there, and it's held up by, like, wooden planks behind the actual, like, whatever this stuff is. Look at that computer over there. It's got all sorts of electric stuff going on, and I have no idea and will never understand myself. It's crazy. It's crazy. The fly is not going to do that, but we are going to do that. Which is why I think that consciousness is larger than this. There's more going on than just this. However, does that mean that we were created by an all-seeing, all-knowing being who just exists? He just exists. Where did he come from? That's a good question. Is it even a he? Is God female? I don't fucking know. And since this is a video made in America, obviously this is very Christ-centric. Who's to say that the Norse gods aren't the real gods? Like fucking Zeus is out there somewhere. Zeus is looking down on us. Or like the bastardized version of Greek mythology that is Roman mythology is Jupiter hanging out somewhere. It's like, why is the most popular religion in this country just so happen to be the one that's correct? What if it's Hinduism? What if it is? What evidence do you have that it's not Hinduism? What evidence do you have that we're like, that we're not worshiping. We should be worshiping like some plant god that like the Aztecs had. Oh, who's to say we should not be sacrificing newborns right now? Like honestly, who's to say we shouldn't be doing that right now? I don't see why just because one religion, which is splintered off into infinite different directions. Like you have Catholicism, you got Lutherans, you got fucking Baptists, you got Protestants, you got all sorts of fucking weirdos. You got all these different flavors of the same religion, but why is the ones correct but everybody else is not? And the problem with it is that if just someone could just fall from the clouds and just come down and be like, hey yo, so just to let everyone know, I'm God. Okay, now that we got all this cleared out, just carry on. Peace. I'm gone. And then he's gone. You know? Why can And why does it so happen that these Christian texts kind of read as just like how to be in a society manuals, just like building a society for dummies? That's just what the Bible is. Building a, Middle Eastern society. Because like they just got like, like all the rules in the book about like not having too many not having too many oxen, and like and don't do work on Sundays, I guess. I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head, but like why does it really just read it? Why does most biblical texts need read as just like guides for living and like really just nothing else? I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, and like the reason that I stopped believing primarily, I was originally going to try and start my own religion, one that was basically Christianity except no churches, basically. But like that's when I realized like, if I can just do this, if I can just fucking write this shit out and like someone will find this thousands of years from now and be like, we've been wrong this whole time, and be like, yeah, yeah. But like, it was the bullshit. It was the church bullshit. It was all the pastors being like, it's bad to be gay. It's like, okay, thanks for your input, Father Thomas. Thanks for your input, Father Thomas. How's your grinder account going for you? Have you gotten any hits? It sucks. It sucks. But like, it's just I have not seen anything to convince me that there is a God. That's what I'm trying to say. I have not seen anything outside, anything in here, in this room, anything in here, inside of that. I have not experienced anything in my 24 years of life to lead me to believe that there is any omnipotent being watching over every single thing that I'm doing. I'm not convinced. And while I was like a virulent anti-theist as a teenager, because just I hated everything that the church stood for, everything, all of the hatred in the world, all of the mass murders, all of the, throughout times, the Crusades, I'm trying to say, all of the hatred that people harbor inside of them for others, for like, like different people, um, that's why I stopped. That's primarily why I stopped. But like as the years go on, I just realized, there's no compelling evidence. There's no compelling evidence to tell me that there even is a God to begin with, or which one of the fucking plethora around the world that there are of religion. So I'm not feeling it. I don't feel any love right now. I'm not feeling any love, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't. I don't. And what everyone says is just like, oh, so I guess you hate God. No, I don't. I don't hate. Why would I hate something that doesn't exist? The thing is that I'm open minded to just about anything. Like, if you tell me something, I'm gonna be like, okay, okay, I see how that could be possible. I would like to explore this abstract statement that you've just told me. Why don't we think about it? Why don't we have like why don't I don't drink coffee anymore? I was gonna say, why don't we have a coffee and talk about it? I don't drink coffee anymore. Maybe I should start drinking coffee again. Um, yeah, it's like, if you would like to give me some compelling evidence, and it's not, and none of this just like, oh, look around. I mean, like, I've looked around. You think I haven't looked around? I would love to believe. I would love to know what happens after you die. I would love that. I would love to have that knowledge. I like knowledge. Knowledge is cool. I love when people share knowledge with me because I like learning things. I hated fucking school because you didn't learn anything in school. But like when you're actually like on the internet and you're like looking up how to make fucking peppermint snaps, fucking that's cool. Just read these instructions, like how to fucking fix your microwave, how to, like put together a printer. I don't know, dude. I like learning stuff. I love knowledge being imbued into me. But just it's just a bunch of and like all religion is in America anyway. All the church in America stands for is profit above all else. And yeah, that's I find that very uncool. I don't identify with that at all. I don't like how it's just a racket for grandmas to throw away their retirement earnings to a institution that for some reason still isn't being taxed the same amount as it probably should be. Yeah, yeah. And let's not forget about what the pastors like to do. We all know what the priests get up to. Yeah, they fucking. Needless to say, they should probably be like standing alongside MSNBC and denouncing the Florida bill. If you catch my drift. Oh man, it's fucked up, dude. It's fucked up. I don't really know what else to say. I probably had a lot more like thoughtful things to say about this yesterday when I was thinking about making this, but I was too tired. But for as it stands, I've seen no compelling evidence. I've heard others' experience. And it's like, and the thing is, I used to be virulently anti theist. However, I think that if you can find meaning in the teachings of these archetypal religions, if you can find like inferences and like relatability, and if it like genuinely benefits you as a person to read through this stuff or like actively participate in the community related things, I don't see what the problem is. I I literally don't care what anyone does as long as it doesn't, impede on the rights of someone else. You know, you can pray to whatever the fuck you want. You can pray to. I prayed to Phil Collins once. I prayed to Phil Collins once, and yeah, that was some good shit. But like, as long as you're not doing what the priests do, and as long as you're like actually following like the don't covet your neighbor's wife rules, as long as you're not doing anything that is a net detriment to someone else, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking give a shit what you do. It's just I personally have not found any meaningful connection to anything, any of the teachings, any of the scripture. When I went to church, I felt nothing but boredom. When I prayed, I nothing changed. I felt no warmth in myself. I felt no magic in the air. and basically nothing in my life would change. I don't know, man. But like I said, if you found meaning, if you feel like you've been touched by an angel or someone's visited you in your dream, you know, if you have actually genuinely felt a connection to any religion out there or any ethereal being that has ever been written or experienced, if you felt meaning from that, that's good. I wish I could feel that meaning. I would love to feel something like this, but I just don't. I don't feel anything. And on like the opposite end of the spectrum, I've never felt like, I've never felt compelled to do bad things. Like I'm not like, oh, I'm not gonna fall to the devil or anything. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. He's not interested in talking to me either. Man, it's just like high school all over again. Literally no one wants to talk to me. And I'm just, nothing's going on, dude. Nothing's going on here. I feel nothing. And honestly, I'm content with that. Like, I don't know if I'll ever feel anything. If I do feel something, sick. I guess there was a God after all. But until I actually feel something, I can't lie to myself. I can't say that I'm religious when I'm not religious. I don't like lying like that. When we were in junior high, or not junior high, but junior year in high school, there was like some sort of test, standardized test bullshit, and like they wanted you to list your religion on the front, and like all of my friends who were like, atheists, they were like, you know what, I put down Christian just in case they showed this to my parents, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not gonna lie about that. I put fucking none. I put none on my list. There was a bunch of really cool religions on the list too. But like, I put none. I'm like, fuck it. I don't believe. I'm not gonna pretend to believe. Just to make someone else feel better, alright? If you feel something, cool. But I don't. Okay? I just don't. I would like to. I would like to have a religious experience. I really would. I really would like to find meaning in this. But I just don't. There's so many different religions and so many different texts and so many different ways that you could experience it. Mostly using drugs. But like, I don't have any connection to any of this stuff. And every single time that I get a little exploratory, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'll look up some of these religions and I'll look up some like guidelines on how to have a religious experience. Like you lay on your back, you sit there and you like close your eyes and you're like, okay, dear God, please tell me you're out there. And I have not had a eureka moment. I have not had a voice in my head say anything like, yes, yes, my son, I am real. You can believe now. I gotta go do something else now. Sorry, I don't have much time. I gotta go, answer, more of Hollywood's prayers. Yeah. I haven't felt anything, dude. I don't know. I don't. Anyway, this was a fun video. I have no idea what the comments are going to look like. Oh no. Oh no. I have no idea what the comments are going to look like. I'm kind of scared, honestly. But yeah, if you have any tips on how to have a meaningful religious experience, please put them in the comment section. I would really like that. I think it would be cool to have a religious experience, but fuck me. I'm just sitting here like, any day you're ready. I've been waiting. I've been waiting for a reason to believe. Not seeing any. Oh no. I hope my grandma never sees this video. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you whenever I do next. Say bye, Mac. Say bye! Stop the video.